Hello Scrapbookers, it's Katie Scott and I'm here today on Thanksgiving Day and I'm not cooking. I am cooking up some scrapbook pages and I have a little bit of time, but I'm not feeling particularly inspired. But I'm just killing some time before we go over. I've already watched the Macy's Day Thanksgiving Parade and we're going to go over to my sister-in-law's and we just have a little bit of time in between. And I could fold laundry or do a little scrapbooking. So I'm going to pick the scrapbooking. I'll get to the laundry later. Today I am going to make 4 pages, in my little bit of time. And these are all inspired by Glitter Girls Adventure number 98, Journal Gestures. And I think that just came out today. So I'm coming to you from November 28th, 2013. So you can look either at the 2 Peas in a Bucket YouTube channel or 2 Peas in a Bucket or Chamel's channel to get to that adventure number 98. So what I thought I would do, because I don't have any pictures or stories in mind, is I just picked 4 paper pads. And so I get these at the craft store or at the discount stores. You know, some people call them the stack. but you know, the stacks have come a long way, and they're not just, you know, these stacks really are handy. This one was $19.99, but I probably got it at 40 or 50% off. And then these ones I got, well, that was $15, and I probably paid the full amount for that because I love it. I love this crepe paper close knit so much. It was the one that had the family tree, which I've totally used up. I at first I thought I really wouldn't like it because I wasn't crazy about the cross stitch, but it has grown on me. Like that one in particular, I was like, eh. And so, and then these 2, I'm pretty sure I got at, yep. We just call it October afternoon, but it's not. It's like Tuesday morning or Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday something. And so I have this collection and this collection. So I have 4 different paper packs. But you don't have to have paper packs, but let me show you just how easy it is. So we'll start with the first layout. And I've already pre-selected. So I'm just going to show you exactly how this goes together. So these are the papers in this collection. So in Chamel or Glitter Girls Adventure number 98, she uses a striped paper. So I'm also going to use the striped paper. And on top of the striped paper, she uses a floral. So I found a floral. Hers is a little bit bolder, and I could have used this one here, but just I didn't. And then she's got a strip here that's more like, it's got words. It has words. And so it could have been like this kind of a strip, but this wasn't in the pack, and I'm not going to be using that one today. Instead, I found this paper here with the cameos, and without the mat, it doesn't really show up too well. So I could ink all the edges or sew stitch lines around, but I thought the matting it was just as effective to make it stand out a little bit. And then the other thing that she does is she actually has one more layer of paper. So we've basically got like 3 squares of paper, 1, 2, 3, and then a strip. So there's the first layout. I'm going to adhere this and maybe ink it or whatever, or, you know, make the edges more visible somehow. I'm going to do that off camera because I want to show you, usually my videos are making scrapbook pages in actual time, but in this video I just wanted to show you how you can batch process your scrapbook pages. So there's one started page, and Chamel calls them starting points. So when I do a page like this, I consider it a starting point. I will also do pages where, and I'm not really looking at the photos here, but say I had also selected a photo. If I had also selected a photo and it's going to go right there, then I call this a half-baked page, which I liken to half-baked potatoes, is that I've cooked it once, but it still needs title, journaling, and embellishment. And so I make these types of pages when I'm not feeling very inspired. And I'll tell you what, so I'm going to take the photo away because I don't have a story in mind and I don't have a picture in mind. And I'm actually feeling like not that inspired to scrapbook. But I can still, if I have the time, I want to use it. So what I do in those times is I will make some of those starting points. So here's one starting point page. I'm going to make 4. And 2 of them I have already cut, but I'm going to show you how I cut the other 2. So I have this older My Mind's Eye pack of Christmas papers. Some of them they're really nice because they're like embossed and glittered. Some of them look really kind of, I don't know how I would use that. But it's adorable, but I'm not sure. I think I used a bunch of this on making cards. It's called Wonderful Winter, and it's very dimensional. It's glittered holiday papers. This is from 2009, and so I've already made, so this is, instead of the stripe, and I'll just show you, what I'll do is I'll show you side by side. So this is the Chamel or Glitter Girl starting point here. This is from Adventure number 98 of Glitter Girl. So instead of going up and down with this next one, I had this strip of paper with words and they go horizontally. So I'm going to make them go horizontally. I also think it kind of needs a bumper. So I just picked a little stripe to just make that more clear. And then we need the 2 different squares. So for the larger square, and I trimmed that to like 10.5 by 10.5. That's the dimension. So if you wanted less of this showing, you might go to 11, or if you wanted more, you might go to 10, but this is 10.5. So this is also 10.5. Okay. And so it's the same basic setup, and then I had this piece of paper, which isn't from the pack, but I liked the navy blue of it. Just like the contrast. So that's going to go there. And then this will go down here. So boom. 2 starting point pages done. Okay, well, they need to be adhered, but they're basically done. Now I'm going to show you the process of actually cutting them up. So I'm just going to set those to the side, and now we'll start with this one. This one is crepe paper, and I think it's a Valentine's Day line, but honestly, it's not all that, it's not so themed. Probably there's one themed out paper here, and it's this one with the hearts, but otherwise, it's pretty subtle. So the first thing I do is I'm going to pick out that background paper. Actually, the first thing I do, I'm going to pick out this. And just for fun, let's cut this to 11 by 11 instead of 10 by 10. So this is the floral. She had a floral. Oops. Sorry. So I'm just going to line that up to number 1. I think the reason I did it to 1.5 was it was kind of easier to make sure that I was lining it up straight. Let's just go to 1.25. I can't do that. Let's just, I'm afraid I won't. I guess I can. This is 1.25. So there's 1.5. It's 2 over. Okay. Trim that out. And trim this again. And when you have these paper pads, it's real easy to feel okay about cutting up the paper. Whereas when I buy the paper and it's like, oh, it's so special because I just bought that one piece of paper, like, I can't think of one, but sometimes I'll go to the scrapbook store and I'll just buy like, oh, this one is so gorgeous. And then I really won't feel as easy about cutting it up. But if you have the paper packs and there's 2 sheets for each design, then it gets easier, you know. Okay, that feels a little Valentine's Day-ish. I want to go with her theory of doing the stripes. That feels like not enough contrast. Let's see. I'm looking for that yellow. I might have already used it. There's a yellow stripe in here. So when I cut some things up in these sheets, I just keep the random. Here's the yellow. That's what I was looking for. I think I might have used the full sheet, the 2 full sheets. Darn it. But the point of this exercise is to just keep going forward. Is don't let that stop you. One thing I can do, because these are pretty similar, is I could look to the other one, but let me not do that. I could, but I'm not going to. So I just want to choose something kind of bold around the edges. And there's not a lot left in this pack. I think I've been using it quite a bit. I'm going to choose this wood grain like that. So that'll be my full sheet. And now I need the stripe and the smaller square. I kind of think this might be fun as the stripe. The, what do you call this? The stripe. Because it will draw attention to whatever I put there because it's so bright. So I'm going to trim that, I don't know, somewhere around 3.5, 4, maybe 4. You can always trim it down if I want to. So there's 4. That's what that looks like. And then I want one more square. And she used a lighter, because I think she, Glitter Girl, was intending to... See how we like the pink? I kind of like it. I like that. She was intending to journal like maybe straight onto this page, but then I think she used some journaling cards. So I'm going to, I probably want this to be at 8. So I'm going to cut it a little bit between 3 and 4. And then this is going to be the part that goes side to side on the page. So here we are. It's a little smaller than I wanted it to be. Let me just see if this works. I kind of like that. Okay. So sometimes it's okay, you know, make rules and break them. So make your, you know, you don't always have to stay exactly to your plan. But I like this idea rather than this. I just like the way that looks. So there's my page number 2. And that was just from, I keep this tray on my desk. I have a huge desk. It's a tanker desk. And all my scraps go into this initially, and then I keep grabbing them as I'm going. And then at a certain point, I'll get super tired of all these things, and I will put them in a box, put them away, and I'll sort them through later. And I'm going to make a video of that process at some point, but I haven't done that yet. So there's page number 3. Okay. But the trick here to making these starting point pages quickly, I think, is to use a paper pack. It just makes it really easy. So here we go again. Okay, I'm going to choose the background. Before we even get started, I could choose this one that already has a design. I could choose one of the darker ones, like the blue, this blue, or this blue. And then for the middle, for that floral, I could choose maybe one of these, or maybe the banners, or the damask. And then for the lighter color, I've got a pink wood grain here. So I'm already kind of, I know that I'll be able to make this work. So first up is a dark color. So let's just, that was one option because it's already got the the border around it, but I actually think I want to use that for something different. I think this chevron could work. Let me just see if I have one of the darker colors. Here's the blue. I like it. Okay, and right up behind it, we've got a nice floral. So let's go with that. I'm not sure I love the combination of that. Let me look at a different one. I don't know where those banners went. I don't see them in here. I don't remember using them either. You know what I did? I think I did with them is I like this floral better. It just reminds me of the 70s. It reminds me of childhood. It's just kind of a funny looking floral. So on this one, I'm going to try to just go for a smaller. This square is going to be bigger, so the edge around it is going to be smaller. Let's just do that. Oops. I guess I still need my cutter, huh? Okay. So there's that. Now I'm going to need the smaller. I really wanted to use that. Oh, I'm disappointed that I don't have the banner because I thought that would be cute as the stripe. But I have no idea where that is. Darn it! Okay. So in the Glitter Girl episode, she used a strip that had words. And this has words, and it's yellow. It's not exact. This is a much brighter yellow than this. Thought that could have worked. I don't think it does. Let me try. Okay, I kind of like this here. So I'm going to use, this is Fancy Pants. So I've broken my rule just a little, but I didn't stray too far. I have off camera, there's a little bin of pattern paper. It's all mixed up. It's not organized in any way. But there's not too much of it. There's maybe like 2 inches of just random scrapbook paper. And so that was handy. I have more pattern paper than one could ever possibly need. But I didn't go too far to find this. So I like the way that this looks. And then what was our other bit? To have another square, and I'm not sure I need it on this page. Let me just try a couple things. Let's see if we can. I'm not even sure. I could just bump this out to give it just a little place to live. Like a fake mat. Just by using 2 strips of cardstock. And then, oops. So this one's going to look a little bit different. But that, I like that. I'm going to leave that. So 4 packs of pattern paper. And I now have 4 starting points. They need to be adhered down. But that's seriously mindless work. And I'm not going to videotape that portion of it. But here's the 4 paper packs that I used. Just 4 random. And they're all like kind of half used up. And they're not my most favoritist. Well, one of them is. But they're not, I don't feel precious about any of them. I feel like I can cut them up and not worry about it. And then I've made 4 starting points. So here's 1, 2, oops, and again they need to be adhered, 3, oh I can't get them all in one frame, 4. So let's see, you can see that a little bit better. There you go. That was 20 minutes, and I have 4 starting points. I will chime back in later with where I go from here. Okay, thanks, scrapbookers. Have a happy Thanksgiving.